Neural crest cell migration. Typically, where do you see? I mean, what is important for that? For some questions, I'll try to run fast. Some questions, I will make it interactive. Just bear with me, because every question we need to wait to be interactive to look for your responses. It may take a little time. We have about 300 questions to solve. So some I'll try to run through. Yeah, so that's good. So hyaluron is required for the cranial neural crest migration. Ultimobranchial body, which is a derivative of it. Now shoot your answer. You keep shooting your answers with the question number, but wherever discussion is needed, wherever I want you to give the response, I will wait. Very good. Gangadeep proposes the derivative of ultimobranchial body. Vismaya proposes parafollicular C cells. Wonderful, Vismaya. So it is the calcitonin which is produced, and calcitonin causes the calcium to be extracted from the blood, is what you need to remember. Which is the derivative of rat case pouch? One more question for you to take a bet. Shoot your answer, doc. Rat case pouch, what is your opinion? Yeah. I can see Anuj Nigam proposing B, Rituraj also. Craniopharyngioma, absolutely right. The hardest bone in the body is the osseous labyrinth. From the umbilical artery, the median umbilical ligament is the one which is basically derived. The umbilical artery gives rise to superior vesical artery. The distal part of it becomes the medial umbilical ligament, and the inferior vesical artery, it gives the artery to the vas deferens, is what you need to basically remember. So very happy to see 98 students online. Please send the link and ask your friends to join this wonderful afternoon to solve the very high yield single liners is the highlight of the today's mock test. Labia majora is homologous to the scrotum, as all of you know very well. In our childhood, we learned morula is sweet 16-staged ball that is typically enclosed in the zona pellucida, as all of you know very well. Umbilical cord has two arteries, one vein, and umbilical vein supplying towards the fetus. And instead of two umbilical arteries, if there is a single umbilical artery, it is pathological and it has got certain pathological associations, is what you need to remember. So please keep punching the question number answer while the discussion is going on. So that is how you can become much more inclined to participate in this debate. In the umbilical cord, which is not obliterated, obviously umbilical vessels still remain in our adult life. Now, what is correct about embryogenesis? The branchial pouch derives from endoderm. The pharyngeal pouches form the endodermal side between the pharyngeal arches, and the pharyngeal grooves, they form the lateral ectodermal surface, and they separate the arches, and the pouches line up with the clefts, is what you need to fundamentally remember. This is a beautiful question. Question number 11, I leave it for all of you to give me what is your answer. From where is the superior vena cava embryologically derived from? Question number 11. Very good. Vismaya proposes cardinal vein. Anuj Nigam want to bet C to the power of 4. Absolutely right. Cardinal vein. Superior vena cava is derived from right cardinal vein, common cardinal vein, and the right anterior cardinal caudal to the transverse anastomosis. Right brachiocephalic develops from right anterior cardinal vein. Common cardinal vein, superior vena cava. Right brachiocephalic, right anterior cardinal vein. That's what you need to appreciate. Arch of aorta, from where is it derived? Let me see what is your guess. Arch of aorta, a question I'm waiting for you to answer, question number 12. Arch of aorta. Very good. Gangadeep proposes D. Rocket Trader is also saying D to the power of 4. Absolutely right. Pharyngeal arch, fourth. So, fourth pharyngeal arch. What are the muscles of the fourth pharyngeal arch, doctor? Cricothyroid, levator palatini, pharyngeal constrictors, and it is innervated by the cranial nerve 10, superior laryngeal nerve, which is derived from the vagus, is what you need to remember. And the fourth aortic arch typically gives rise to the arch of aorta, and the right subclavian artery is what you need, and the right part of it gives rise to subclavian artery. From where is common carotid derived from? It is the third pharyngeal arch derivative. Once more, NEET PG 2019, invariably one question on the branchial arch derivatives, neural crest cell derivatives. Today only you have to review it in the U Medicos video library, strengthen your concepts and get ready for exam. So, greater carnu of the hyoid, lower part of the hyoid, they develop from the third arch. Stylopharyngeus develops from the mesoderm of the third arch. And the nerve of the third arch is glossopharyngeal nerve. And the third aortic arch, it forms the common carotid, and part of the internal carotid is what you need to appreciate. So, stylohyoid ligament, it derives from the second branchial arch. So, second branchial arch is also called hyoid arch, and from that comes S for stapes, S for styloid, S for the stylohyoid ligament, and it is the seventh cranial nerve that is the one which is basically supplying it. So, sphenomandibular ligament, question number 15, is derived from the first branchial arch, is what you have to fundamentally remember. So, what is first pharyngeal arch gives rise to? Meckel's cartilage, incus and malleus bones of middle ear, sphenomandibular ligament and anterior ligament of the malleus. So, the whole idea of the story is, let us go back in embryology, very high yield out of 300 questions in NEET PG 2019, invariably one question agar nahi aaye to mera zimmedari hai. Definitely comes from the pharyngeal arches, which you have to be good with. How does malignant hyperthermia occur? Sarcoplasmic reticulum releases the calcium in the muscle, which enable actin myosin to interact and lead to muscle contraction. There are ryanodine receptors in the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Any abnormality of them congenitally lead to unnecessary secretion of the calcium continuously and a strong actin myosin interaction leading to the generation of the heat, which is the basis of malignant hyperthermia. So, increased calcium transport via L type of calcium channels in the T tubule due to the ryanodine receptor abnormality is the basis of the malignant hyperthermia, is what you have to be doubly sure about. Which ion plays a role in exocytosis? It is the calcium. Where do you find dense bodies in which location? I mean, what is the corresponding location in the skeletal muscle where you find the dense bodies in the smooth muscle? It is the place where actin and myosin interact, that is the Z line. The corresponding location in the smooth muscle, you have the dense bodies to the point that corresponds to the Z line in the skeletal muscle. is what you have to be clear about.